Well, good evening, everyone. How are you all this evening? Tonight's our workshop night, and we are going to be talking about entering the fair and what the judges are looking for. Want to go through a few announcements first, and our photo sharing for the evening. Kim, you want to take care of the lights? So, on the 31st of July is our editing discussion group. It's a week and a couple days away. Because of the way this month falls with Thursdays. So we'll be doing that. If you have any questions, let me know ahead of time or just bring them and we'll figure it out. On Sunday, August 3rd is our breakfast discussion group at 9 o'clock at the Morning Griddle Cafe. There's a good crowd that goes, probably like 9 or 10 people. So that's great. So let Andrew know if you're doing that so that he can make sure that we have a big enough table. Upcoming events on July 26th, which is this Saturday, we're going down to the US Open of Surfing in Huntington Beach. Right now, there's hardly anybody signed up. I think the last time I looked was, you did?
Yeah,
okay,
this afternoon.
Okay. So we have a few people going. But if you want to go, if you want to make sure that we look for you at the meeting place, make sure to sign up. Or let me know if you can't sign up for some reason. And then on August 15th, we are going to do a field trip again down to the beach for the AVP Manhattan Beach Open for beach volleyball. And that'll be a lot of fun too. We went last year and parked in an area and took the shuttle down, and it was very convenient and easy. So we will be doing that again. On August 19th, next month, we have Lightroom Tips with Dan Holmes. And he will do a great job. He's a great landscape photographer, and so he'll be able to give us a lot of helpful tips. And then on August 26th, Roy Patience is probably coming up to do a workshop about focus stacking and depth of field. Probably it will not end up being a hands-on workshop because okay, we'll let you know, but he's going to demonstrate how to do focus stacking, and so that should be very helpful. S4C, we have the end of the year banquet, virtual banquet. And PSA end of year PSA exhibition and S4C exhibition, and our club did really well. So thank you to all of you who entered, who participated in S4C through the year. I'm very proud of what our club did. The Antelope Valley Fair, the volunteer sign-up sheet is on the website. So go on in there under the menus at the top. One of them is AV Fair. Do a pull down and under sign up. Go ahead and let us know when you can volunteer. Our first setup day is September 3rd. Is that right? So, huh? It's a Wednesday. And then the fair kickoff dinner is August 8th. If you were a volunteer last year, you get to come to the kickoff dinner. Doors open, I think, at 5. I wasn't quite sure. I think that's when they open. And all past volunteers should have gotten an email, but if you didn't, you are still welcome if you participated last year. And actually, if you volunteered in the past. Yes, we want to have a good showing. Yes. Okay, now I'm gonna close this. Yes.
What time is the fair setup day? What time are we supposed
It starts at 9 on the 3rd. Yeah. But you can look on the website. All the info is there and the sign up lists for all the dates and everything.
I was trying to get in.
And it wasn't letting you?
Well, it wasn't, nothing was showing.
Oh, you just see, I have to figure that out. Okay, so just, we're the only ones that can see it? Okay, I have to figure that out. Google,
I'm surprised you didn't transfer me to.
okay, but there's no schedule showing. Okay. I will, you have to let me know these things, cause I will figure it out. And then I can fix it, so, okay, I'm trying to close this.
That's a cool picture.
Close. Oh, there we go. Okay. So our photo sharing tonight, quite a few people sent stuff in, so we have a good group of images to show. First is Andrew.
Thanks.
Okay, this is up, that's Mount Shasta. I went up with PPLAC for a waterfall trip. And we went up for a sunrise shoot, and this was one of the images I got. It was chilly, but nice day. This is Bernie Falls from the same trip. I've never been up to this area before, but I absolutely love it. I guess this area has been closed for a while. They just repaved the path down to it, so walk down, keep stopping and every few feet, take pictures. The whole area is really picturesque. I did this, I think this is a old 15 or 20-second exposure, I think, to blur the water, and then the sun was hitting it perfectly to give me the rainbow on the bottom. Really love how this came out.
Cool.
This is my new camera and lens setup. I sit on the front porch playing with the hummingbirds. It's one of the results.
So jealous.
This is not the last launch we had, but the one before, where lighting at the time's better. This is one of the launches out of Vandenberg with SpaceX. You see right behind on the left-hand side, the two dots, those are actually the ferrets stepping up to the left. Move your mic.
What?
Go back up. Move your pointer to the left where you were showing. To the left.
To the tip.
To the left, oh, right there, those two things. Those are separate, trying to separate. I think so. This was my favorite from the model shoot we did. Didn't get to shoot it a lot, but I was pleased with the results I did get. This was the trip. I didn't realize this was as big a trip as it was. I didn't know we could invite everybody. I mentioned the trip here, or the meeting here for when we got after, like, Redlands Camera Club was there. They had a big tent and everything. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, there's a bunch of things. We need to coordinate that next time. Trip. Front of Pinnacles. This is from one of the mountain shooting events. Got perfect time in this one. Got the blast coming out. And cylinder around the gun as well as the barrel. This is the actual 4th of July parade. I went down sat from the Presbyterian Church in the shade. And we had the Honor Squadron band come up to fly over. A lot of people there. It's the first time I've been in a few years. It's not too hot and good time. Glad to go down. This is a quick little brush fire that somebody arranged for my birthday last Monday. I heard about it. It was real close to the house, so I ran up and parked across the street. Got a couple of pictures. It was backlit horribly. Got a few pictures. This is up at Lake Oso last week when I was up in the Central Coast. I'd love to go to the state park and walk around and catch the wildlife, maybe birds or fish or boats like this. I couldn't leave the wasp hanging out with the butterflies. Kind of a
That's crazy.
This is a picture I took of Tony.
All of these pictures in this group will have this in common. And a friend of mine once said, when she saw this picture, that it looked like it was awfully crowded. I said, that's the place where there are a lot of people. And if you don't like a lot of people, you don't go. Like a lot of people, and your people watch you like me. It's one of my favorite spots to hang out. That probably looks like the next picture. This guy and I assume his mother whizzed by me on Ocean Boulevard. And I just thought that was interesting. And I liked it, and I don't like the whole concept of it. And it looked as though this was not the first time doing this. Good way for the sun to hang on people. Next photograph. One of the nice things about being down there is to catch the sunset. Now, this time of year, the sun sets over the Palisades, so it doesn't go in the ocean. Earlier in the year, it sets straight in the ocean. Next photograph. And that's just another, I can go on the same sunset. Kind of reminded me of Key West, where the people go and watch the sunset and they go beyond the horizon, they start to fall. They apply the sunset every next photograph. I love the street musicians down here. So next to sunset with this violin, this two played like smooth jazz, but on a domestic violin. And I like this one. Next photograph. This, I set the focus, the focal plane on her, as opposed to the objects it's supposed to be. Those 2 buckets, or 3 buckets contain salts. I just thought it was interesting if you're on First Street Promenade and you're involved in your electronics more than the day of the environment, the people around you. Next photograph. This one, it was though she sat in the perfect light. So I grabbed this shot. I said, "Laura, at the foot of the pier, along the pier from the boardwalk." And she was just sitting there by herself, with her floodwaters, or whatever that is, and she was sitting with the light. Next photograph. And one of the good things that came out of the pandemic, was kind of bizarre to say that, is it brought back out festival dining. And I love that. And this is just a picture looking down the promenade of this restaurant, restaurant, without for dining. And again, maybe closest to us, and the next guy down here, both involved in their electronics and not today. And she's really into her electronics.
Oh, yeah.
But she's got the 2 twins out and she's flying in promenade. I just grab a shot. Next photograph.
The nanny.
This guy was on the promenade walking with his bingo on his shoulder. And I just approached him and said, "Can I take pictures of it?" He said, "Yeah." And the only thing he asked me was if he had some copies of the pictures, which I, of course, gave him. But the cat seemed to be enjoying it, just sitting there, just looking around the world. He also had a backpack on, also a cat carrier. So when need be, he put it in a cat carrier and so. Next photograph. This lady caught my eye because she was just so casually, fashionably dressed. She's got open toe shoes on, very comfortable dress, accent with a jean jacket and a Stetson. And Suzanne, is that a standard food?
Yes, standard
Okay,
poodle.
she's got her little standard food
Yeah.
on the leash. And she's talking to what I think is a brownie. When I was a kid, that vest and those colors would be a brownie. Now they combine the Boy Scouts and Boy Scouts and they move things around, so I don't know. And I couldn't pose this lady any better. Next photograph. This photograph I nicknamed terminally cute. It's a term that I invented years ago, like when I see a picture of a German Shepherd nuzzling a kitten, or I'll see the big brother helping his sister across the street. Just a name with it, so cute. It's true. And I really like this couple. Next photograph. And this little puppy just had enough of the day. And Suzanne, is that a breed or a mix?
A mix.
A mix. He just looks so cute, just sitting next to his owner and basically saying, "I'm ready to go." That's the end.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Back in May, I went to the LA Zoo and took some pictures of the new vulture area, which was really cool. And I thought this guy was really cool looking. I have no idea what those dots are. But he's a cool looking vulture. And then I went to dog camp, a dog sports camp up in Lake Tahoe. And one of the instructors was running his dog. And I thought that was so cute. With the tutu and the sunglasses.
Crazy. In a necklace.
I photographed Lord Gorshin while I was up there. And this little dog, right after, immediately after I took this picture, he tumbled and did a somersault,
Oh.
so. And another Lord Gorshin photo. I love the ears. Little King Charles. And then I went to, a shedding clinic, which is you take sheep and you separate the herd. So it was a clinic that I went to with a friend taught by a very famous English South African guy. But anyway, it was fun to photograph. And these two little girls were playing in the trough. And they were so cute. And then last weekend, or last Friday, sometime last week, I was at the San Diego Zoo. And this was the lion taking the snooze. And I love the tongue out.
Oh, yeah.
Again, from San Diego Zoo, they've got a really cool aviary that you walk through in Africa. And a lot of beautiful birds. These are bee eaters. And this bird was nice enough to pose for me with the orange flowers.
Yes.
I thanked him. And I got quite a few pictures of the leopards. Because they were, again, posing for me. Very nice of them.
Sandy? You want to talk about your pictures?
Well, this one is a typical hummingbird. No flowers. I feel so sad, but we don't have any flowers in our backyard. We just have a hummingbird feeder. And there he is. Oh, yeah. And I guess we have two kinds of hummingbirds. Kathy, do you know what kind this one is?
That looks like an Anna's.
And Anna's? Yeah, I guess it's the missus that was on the hummingbird feeder. And just as she was getting ready to fluff her wings is when I try and take the picture, but I had no idea Mr. Hummingbird was coming in. So it was just a moment. And they chased each other around the yard.
I love it when they do that.
Mhm.
There's little spirals.
And I'm currently participating in kind of a critique and challenge group. And this was my submission for using the golden triangle. You know, I always use like the rule of thirds, and I had no idea that there were other compositional grids that you could kind of use. And yeah, so this was a Sunday morning.
Looks good.
And this was oh, and I forgot his name, but anyway, you know, in the desert, we are so desperate for anything that blooms. We don't pull our weeds. We just celebrate them by taking their pictures.
That's right.
I was actually hunting for hummingbirds, but while I was waiting, I caught this guy.
Okay. I don't think John is in here. John, are you in here? No. Okay. We'll just look at his. I think he went to the Hermosa Beach AVP, so this might be from that. Okay. Good.
Anyway, this is the new building that David Geffen Museum.
Oh, the flames.
It's very bizarre because it looks like it's all concrete and glass and it's about a block long because the black thing there, right? That's still it going down behind the black piece of art there, and they're starting to open up that now, fully open next year. So we're starting to have events there. That's right next to the black one.
Right.
And then is at the Peterson Museum, and I like that angle when they actually use Photoshop to get rid of some layers. 4th of July, 80 fairgrounds. That was a fire out of 140th and D, but I was closer to E. For Maryland. And, I was kind of shocked at the angle he took on that approach because it seemed rather steep. And a V2 coming in from the west for a change. We went out to Castaic Lake for dragon boats. It's just interesting to watch, and all the boats have come apart in pieces. The dragons get taken off. They have a drum where they keep the stroke going. It was interesting, a long ways away, and I happened to pick 100-degree day for the evening. So I sat under the shade for up in the hill. And that was Jim Connon Day in the tower, and noticing that the more experienced, the better in the groups, how their eyes and and he led the horse's eyes with their eyes around the corner. It was kind of good to see, because I remember being surprised my daughter figured that out in BMX. She, instead of driving it, looking at her front tires, she looked out in the lane. That one was keeping the head and kind of horses going where she's looking, I think. This was trip to Toronto. This is golden hour. This I thought was interesting. I was playing with my Signal 150 to 600 that I never used. And this is 600 millimeters plus cropped a ton. And until I cropped it, I didn't realize it wasn't a mouthful of pine needles. There's actually 2 fish. Not one, 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
Was that at Apollo Park?
Hmm?
Where was this?
Apollo.
Apollo? Cool.
Yeah, it's a night errand. And then this is, that's from black and white film. That scans of it at night. Apparently severely overexposed him, so I tried to bring it up as much as I could. The sky is really green, but it is 400.
Hmm.
And that should be good. Oh, okay, thanks. Very nice.
I was at the same fire that Fred was, but I was up north of D, just north of D at 140th. And the helicopters came through several times, so there were a lot of good opportunities to take helicopters dumping water on the fire, huh?
I only got 1 or 2. I was a little late.
Oh, no, there was at least 5 or 6 passes that they did, so it was fun. I got out there, like, I saw the smoke and I looked on watch duty and it had been reported a minute before. And I was like, I have my camera, I'm on the freeway at Avenue F, so. Oh, no, I was south of, no, I was at F, because I got off at D, went right out there. I think I was ahead of the fire truck.
I got the 1-minute report, and it took me 25-30 minutes to get up to it.
Yes, I was like right there. So anyways, monarch caterpillars tried to live in my backyard milkweed, but I went away to San Diego and when I came back, there weren't any, so I think the birds ate them or something. But, you know, I got pictures of them before I left. Luckily. And there's a lot of aphids, which they're also not compatible with aphids, so. Who knows what killed them. On the way down to San Diego, we stopped at a overlook thing close to the base down there, and this helicopter flew south, and then it turned and made it like a real close pass by, like, hey. So, I don't know, it looked like a bunch of girls to me, so I think they were just having fun. And if any of you are guys, I'm sorry. The beach in Encinitas where we stayed, this kid was fishing and he caught a manta ray
I think it's a stingray.
or a stingray. He caught a stingray. And they spent like, I don't know, 15 minutes trying to decide what to do with it before they threw it back in the ocean. Yeah, well, they were being super careful. Yeah. They were like, I don't know, how do we get they had to get the hook out of its mouth and, you know, it was a whole process. And we went to the wild animal park. And this one is a baby. The tongue is always.
Another sleeping lion.
Yes. She just stretched all out.
Pretty cute.
Yeah. Oh, this giraffe, I liked his mouth, so I had to make him special with background and stuff. We went up to the Maritime Museum and they have all these old boats. Some of them are sailboats or whatever they're called. Not sailboats, but boats with sails, tall ships, call them tall ships. So this was inside one of them. I thought I was having fun taking pictures through windows. Leading lines. And the underneath side of the midway that then this last week got hit by a
Mostly before
ship
the yacht hit it.
before the yacht hit it. We were not close enough to hit it in any way, shape, or form. But we were close enough for it to be cool. And then this last week in 52 frames, the challenge was something new, and you could either take a picture of something new or try something new. So I decided I would use the double or multiple exposure feature in my camera. So you have to take the picture and then another picture, and it combines them in camera to make the final picture. And this was the one that I submitted. It's a church that's up in Rosemond. But it was a lot of fun to try and play around with it and figure out what worked and what didn't. And that's
That was
one of my cats. And that's it. Okay, so next. Stop it. Okay, there we go. Okay. This. And Zoom share screen. Where is it? Okay. And now Kurtiss is gonna come talk to us about how to enter the fair. There you go.
Who's going to enter photos in the fair this year? Or images, digital photos, whatever? Good, just about everyone, except you guys. And I don't know about you, I can't enter any yet. And
I don't think I'm allowed.
I haven't entered since 2014. And that was it since I've been chairman all these years. Let's see, how do you work this?
If you use the down arrow, I think it's down.
Oh, there it is, okay. This is not a Mac.
I know. There,
No, nope,
click on it first. then-
okay,
And now try.
now try it. Ah, perfect. Well, it's good to see so many people wanting to enter. If you've never entered before, this is for you. If you don't remember how to enter. And those who have any questions, please, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Take a good look at the photography rules. They're the same as last year. Nothing's changed, but excuse me, take a look at those. Keep your photos simple, make your photos stand out, give it impact. Kathy, after this, will go through tips on what judges are looking for. Exhibit registration is currently open. It's been open for about a month, and it'll close August 26th. 5 p.m. Okay. A digital image upload like we did last year, and Kathy will be handling that from the 5th to the 14th. Print take-in day is on the 17th, and print and award pickup is the day after the fair, which would be Monday, the 29th. Remember, these are part of the general rules. They are in the photography rules. Images must be taken by the exhibitor. Duplicate entries will result in rejection. Entries in travel class must list a location. Your title is not required or encouraged on these prints. Even though it does make it sometimes easier for us to identify the print, title is not required. Fair management reserves the right to select entries for display. We've had a couple of them that were a bit risque in the past, which have been removed from the view. They will get judged, but they will not be viewed by the public. Signed model release should be available if requested by the fair director. I don't think I've ever had a model release required or requested, but be aware that it could happen. Let's see. Remember that you need to select a skill level: amateur, advanced, professional, master, junior. The Antelope Valley Fair and the affiliates shall be held harmless in case there's any issues of copyright infringement. So please don't do that. Your exhibitor's name, your entry title, and any identifying watermark must not be on the print. We've had it a couple times where the photographer puts his name in there as a copyright or just to say, hey, this is my print. Don't do that, because if you do, we'll have to disqualify it because the judges don't want to know who you are. At the bottom, you can see we have a limit on the number of prints and the number of digital entries. Be aware that the more you enter, the more you may win and the better you may do as far as a sweepstakes award. So. Again, we have amateur, advanced, master, professional, and junior. And if you're just entering the fair for the first time, please, start out as amateur. If you win a couple of blue ribbons, you're automatically going to be pushed up to advanced. If you win a couple of blue and advanced, you're going to be pushed up to master. And then professional, as you can see, is one who engages in advanced activities and makes a livelihood out of photography rather than just having fun with it like most of us do. Juniors, we've got two different divisions, Division 7 and 8, 12 and under, and 13 to 17. Except for digital, that's 17 years and younger. Here's all the different divisions, including black and white, color prints, digital, and so forth. This is all in the fair rules. Exhibitor classes are the same as last year. So it gives you quite an array to choose from.
Okay, I just mentioned something on that. If you have 3 portraits, you can't just stick one of them in miscellaneous.
Right.
If it fits a category, it has to be in that category, or you can't enter it. Miscellaneous is just for things that don't fit any of the other categories, like maybe abstract, because that's not in there anymore.
Mhm.
Or still life or something like that, that doesn't have a specific category. But you
Right.
can't just use it as an extra entry that you only had 2 in scenic land. If you had a 3rd one you really liked, you can't put it in miscellaneous.
Yeah, we ask you not to put it in miscellaneous because it may not do very well. Now, just to give you a hint though, sometimes during judging, the judges look at a print and say, this print would really do well, or this digital image would do well in a different class, possibly win an award. We do reserve the right, and they reserve the right to go ahead and move it for you. So we try to give you the best results we can. May win a ribbon, you may win money off of it, we don't know, but we will move it for you.
What if you have something that crosses over into 2 categories? Like maybe scenic land, but there's like an animal there.
What comes to mind first? And when you look at the print, or even ask a friend to look at the print, and what do they think? What do they see first? And try to go with that. Is it land? Is it water? Is it, sky?
I would, if there's an animal in a big scenic land print, I would still put it in scenic land because it's not gonna do well in wildlife, because those are more for like close-ups, things like that.
Right.
So
Because
you would, I would,
unfortunately, I've watched some of the judging on
for
from
PPA and stuff.
PPA and
Right.
PDSA and things like that. And sometimes they'll say, oh, that's too bad, it's a beautiful landscape, but it's got that animal there, or vice versa. So
Mhm. We're not as picky. Andrew, you may want to answer that because you've been a judge for us in the past. But I haven't had a problem with that. But
Something like that, I would look to the board for guidance. In fact, I've got a question. Let's say I've got a picture of Milky Way. I've got a picture of Star Trails, and I have another picture like when we went down to downtown LA for the night thing. I've already got my 2 night pictures. Can I enter this one taken downtown LA at night in structures,
Yeah,
even though it's taken at night?
of course.
yes.
The
Mhm.
structures is what the judge are gonna focus on.
Yeah, the time of day for structures, that I don't think it matters.
Right.
So like, well, maybe an animal's a bad
yeah, well, the
example, so
animals
an animal wouldn't take it up.
If the animals are small,
the animals are like this big, but the
Right.
landscape.
I would say the
is-
dominating feature of the image
Yeah.
is where it's gonna land.
Yeah.
Right. I would say that.
The only other problem you have there, we've had a discussion before, if it's, and I don't think we have a rule like in the nature category where there can be no man-made objects.
no, we don't have that.
Not in our rules.
That's all.
Not for
I
the
think
fair,
I think you'd be fine.
Mhm. Okay,
I don't think.
so like this one, describe what this image is. Is it red boats under the pier for vehicles? Is it structures because of the pier itself? Or is it something else?
Travel maybe.
Yeah. So that's a hard one. I kind of like the structure myself because that's the dominating theme of this is the pier. Motion being portrayed as a dominant theme, including sports. Aircraft images of any type of aircraft that's designed to fly, airplanes, hot air balloons, ultralights, you name it. Oh, by the way, the one on your right, the balloons, that's in Havasu in January. You guys gotta go. It's beautiful up there. We've gone just about every year.
Run a field trip. Of course.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where you're gonna stay, but
There's gotta be hotels. I mean, when we
Oh.
went to Las Vegas, we
Uh-huh.
there's hotels.
right.
Hotel.
It's real popular though, so the hotels fill up pretty quick.
Ah,
Animals, combination, we have domestic pets and then wild. So you can work those out. Birds depicted as the main theme, beautiful owl shot. Black and white, or black and white with one toned color like sepia. Excuse me, if one element of it is colored, like say if they color her eyes, therefore now it's the color print. So don't do that. This is one of Kathy's wonderful prints. Close-up view of a larger object, as you notice just the eye. The rest of the beak is not there, the rest of the bird's not there. It's just a good close-up. You've seen some insects that are just right at the head of the insect. Those are fantastic. And those considered close-up or macro. Creative art. I know you've seen quite a few of these. I used to do quite a few creative arts, especially for the theme. And as you can see, there's quite a few different parts of this picture that have been put together in Photoshop. So images, excuse me, must be taken by the same entrant, all the little images. Now, a lot of times in Photoshop, you can put a brush in there. I'm not worried about brushes. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But if there's multiple images, like say if there's an elephant in a corner, and then another animal or something, those should be taken by the entrant.
What about AI?
AI, that's gonna be a hard one with the AI coming up.
we do not want AI,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Generated.
no generated parts of the image.
Right,
Basically saying no compositing, right?
No,
Unless they are your.
You can composite as long
Right.
as they're all your pictures.
mm-hmm. And it goes into creative art.
Yeah, cause
Um,
like, if I took pictures of the mushrooms and pictures of the girl and pictures of the flowers and
Mhm.
put them all together, she used a brush for the wings, obviously, which is fine,
Mhm.
because it's not another person's picture.
Do you need to provide guide images?
No, no guide images, we're not gonna, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But. And then the textures, as long as the texture is not an overwhelming part of the picture, it doesn't have to be yours if you have a texture that you've gotten from someone else, but, it's okay to use that as long as it's not an opaque part of the image, you know what I mean? As long as it's being used to have an effect.
So I'm assuming she took the photo of the water and put it in?
I'm assuming.
Mhm. It's hard to tell sometimes.
And back when that one was entered, I don't know that we had put those restrictions on because there was an issue at one point, and then we put
Right.
those restrictions on. Because a huge part of one of the images that did well was a stock image. And that didn't seem right, so.
It was combined in creative art, nice, really nice way, but yeah, you can tell that it was a stock image.
Yeah, water
Mhm.
looked like photos you took.
Right. And then, Kathy, you've done some wonderful AI work that you did in the past and
Yes.
put it out there on Facebook. Those are some
Well, I don't,
extremely good images, but
some words and see what it makes, so,
yeah,
I mean, I guess there's kind of an art picking the right words, but. That's why you don't put AI.
you know, we may have to add that
You
in the
can-
class
You can
next year.
do a remove or something like that in Photoshop. We're not gonna get mad at you if you use the AI remove tool. And stuff like that, but just don't add, like, I'm gonna add a hat to this penguin and, you know. Don't do that.
Right.
Take a picture of it.
No, we need to talk about adding AI to maybe a class.
We could
Just to
make
see what it's like.
an AI composite class or
Yeah,
something.
I think that'd be great for what we have today.
Could that maybe possibly be in the other class?
What, AI?
Yeah.
Nothing this year. We will come up probably with a separate class for AI.
Yeah,
Try to develop your photographic skill and not your computer skills on artificial intelligence. Fair theme, anything goes with fair theme, picture perfect, if you have a pig or some swine or something in there. I think most of the fair, board members come through and they review all the photos that have to do with the fair theme. And they're very liberal in passing out really nice ribbons.
yes.
So please enter fair theme. We usually don't have that many, but try to put more in there. It'd be great. Flowers, single, multiple blossoms, including desert wildflowers. I mean, out here, we usually get a lot of the poppy pictures. Nature, something that exists, butterflies, spiders, trees, leaves.
Now this one is no man-made objects.
Mhm.
But
So
not in animals.
Right.
They could be fine.
just don't have a fence post in the back or something. Night photography, this is always a fun one. Images captured outside in the dark, dusk or dawn. And you can see we do a lot of light painting, which is really fun. Photojournalism, tell a story, something you would see in a newspaper. These are really cute.
So for photojournalism, the same rules where you can't do a lot of like editing, like shadows.
We haven't put that explicitly in the rule, but yeah, don't because our judges are all very PPA familiar. Don't over edit your photojournalism.
Right. We all do some amount of processing to clean them up, to make them pop, to, remove a shadow here and there, or, say if there's something hanging out her nose, you want to remove that. That's normal. So I know we're going to be doing a little bit of Photoshop on these photos to clean up blemishes and so forth. Yeah, just don't go overboard because we can tell. And judges will know. What we find a lot is too much contrast where you get an aura around the outside, where it interfaces with the sky. That happens a lot. Okay, sorry. Okay, another photojournalism. Emotional impact, telling a story. Portraits, living person, either posing or candid, including wedding and related images. Let me ask you, what's wrong with this photo?
It has a,
It has my name in the lower right-hand corner, so this would be disqualified.
That isn't that the left hand?
Scenic. Here's a combination of different classes in scenic. We have land, sky, and water. So land, of course, land is a predominant theme. Man-made objects are permitted, but are relatively a small part of the image. Sky is the dominant theme. We have some beautiful sunsets out here. Let me ask you, when we get a lot of launches out of Vandenberg, so we get some great sky shots of the exhaust plume. Would that be considered vehicles?
Or night sky, or
night photography.
Yeah,
I probably would put it in night photography,
night photography, yeah.
unless unless, I mean, most of the time, you're not gonna take a picture of it during the day.
No,
'Cause I wouldn't put it in
but we
the-
had one happen not too long ago in the evening
Right,
around
'cause you're not
7.
really seeing the
7:30.
Vehicles. It's just, you're seeing the plume.
You see the exhaust plume there. Yeah, just a thought. Water's predominant theme for scenic water. Step into the past is a really good one. So old buildings, historic things, antiques. Andrew. Structures. Man-made objects, such as building, bridges, statues, and so forth. Could be more than one object. And it usually takes up the whole picture. Travel, if you guys go overseas or something and have some great shots, please enter those in the travel. And we ask that you do include the location. Where did you take the photo? And that goes on the back of the print.
People walking by, always ask, where was it?
Mhm. Oops, sorry. I'm going the wrong way. Vehicles, cars, trucks, sailboats, everything except aircraft, because that has its own class. So, and we took this one down in Long Beach Grand Prix. And as we were discussing earlier, miscellaneous, a subject that does not fit into a lot of the other classes. Now, the one on the left, you say, well, that could go in structures maybe, but you really don't see the whole structure. You don't see the top of the dome or anything else. So that could, more than likely, that is just miscellaneous. On the right side, the vegetables and looks like an autumn type of picture, definitely miscellaneous.
Yeah, we got rid of the food photography class,
Mhm.
so those would be under miscellaneous.
Right. We didn't have very many entries in the food, that's why it's been cut out. We were asked to reduce, last year, asked to reduce quite a few of the classes, and we did. Okay. Okay, remember, if you register your prints, your registration is not complete until it's paid for. We had a couple of folks come by and say, hey, I registered, but they never submitted their credit card in order to pay for the registration. Therefore, it was deleted. So please make sure you pay for that. Frames, mats, gallery wraps, glass, they are not allowed. One, we don't want to be responsible for any glass that may break. And gallery wraps are too thick. Frames, we don't allow any frames, but you can put a border around the print. It's no more than 1.25 inches. And that's also in the rules. Again, no names, titles, or other identifying information must appear on the print. And then we ask that you draw an arrow on the back of the print so we know which way is up. We get some abstract prints that we have no idea which way you want it. So please put an arrow on the back. Even if it looks like it's a no-brainer, please put an arrow on the back. Registration process, as you know, it's open and it's ready to go. When you go into the AV Fair website, you'll go down to the bottom and you'll see the entry notification. And this is where it starts. Registering your prints. It's kind of hard at this point. You're like, where do I go? What do I do? First thing you do is you go over to where it says register, number 1, and tap that number. And then it starts the process. This is what it says in the center. Even though you may have entered last year, it still requires you to come up with a brand new registration. And you have to do it year after year. It's just register for that year, you're ready to go. So the red arrow there is on number 1. This is the second portion where you will say, hey, what's your name? And at the bottom, click this where it says, yes, I am a new exhibitor. put in all your name. You're gonna make up your own password at this point. This password is not to be confused with your digital password, which you'll receive later. Go ahead and put in all your information. Here's a second page where it asks for your address and your email. The stuff at the bottom, a lot of us don't go to school anymore, have a grade. I'm not gonna tell them my date of birth. And it doesn't have LPA for the club, so just leave it blank. So confirms your registration. What you're gonna do is confirm your information. And now you're gonna go into your entries. What department? Photography. What division? That's something you need to know. Identify that for the photography rules. So in this case, I went with Color Prints Master. Then after you hit Color Prints Master, I'll ask you, what class do you want? And then depends on what class you're entering. Here I entered aircraft. And then choose a club, just leave that blank. When you get done, you hit continue, or excuse me, just when you add that one, it'll come up with this display page. And it says choose a department. Well, you have to go back and choose photography again if you want to add another print or another digital.
But I think the says like add a similar entry or something.
It's the middle one.
Yeah, right in the
Yeah.
middle here.
And then it'll automatically take you to photography and division, but
Right.
then you have, like, if you have a. Black and whites are in a different division,
Mhm.
and then your color prints are in a division, depending on what level you are, and then digital, so you'll, if you do black and white, color and black and white, you'll have 3 different divisions, and then another one if you do digital. Wait, black and white, color, yeah, and digital.
And digital.
So you could have up to 3 divisions that you have to pay.
Mhm.
In prints, I noticed the other day going through it, black and white, because it's its own separate, there's only 21 classes.
Yes,
in
there are.
Prints versus 22 in the digital.
Right, there's one less class.
That's why I was-
Yeah.
So yeah, just either hit that middle button, which will start the process for you, or go back to choose a department, photography, division, and all that again. If you're ready to check out, hit the continue button. And this will take you where you can start the checkout process for paying for for your registration. So how do you want to pay for it? Credit card's the easiest way to go. And then, excuse me, submission is successful, and then it will actually send you an email showing that you've entered these prints or digital. And rate your experience, which I usually ignore. And, excuse me, can't speak. So here's a copy of the email that I did receive. Turning in your prints. Remember, we're going to be open Wednesday if you're going to bring prints in on the 17th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's all day we're going to be there. So yeah, please try to make it before 8. We're going to be at the Van Dam Pavilion. Who can drop them off for you? If you can't make it, a family member, a neighbor, a friend, just whoever. We will give them the receipts for the entry. Make sure you've identified your prints as we described previously. We will have signs up to show you and lead you right through the process of bringing the print in. We'll check it, make sure it meets our requirements. We'll give you the tab. If everything's good to go, we can put it on one table. If there's a change, say if you want to make a class change or something different, we will do that there on the spot. We'll leave it on a different table and we'll take care of it from there. Okay, for digital images, after registration closes, you'll receive an email with detailed instructions for uploading your digital print or digital images. I'm not sure if we're gonna have the same
Yeah, I
website.
think we're gonna do it the same as last year,
Okay.
with their own, Google Drive folder,
Mhm.
because I can't figure out the website.
You know, Lee Garner passed away. He was our web guy. And he passed away a couple of years ago and bless his heart. It's amazing what he used to do and how he set things up for us.
Yeah.
But we still haven't been able to duplicate his efforts. So,
This.
yeah. So Kathy's been working diligently trying to make it work and she's been doing a great job. It worked wonderful last year. But it's a little bit more work for her.
I mean, most of the work last year was my frantically trying to figure out how to make it work this way, but yeah.
Okay. Remember, images, at least 100 kilobytes. I mean, that's getting really grainy to begin with. No more than 4 megabytes. The image size is the longest edge is 248 pixels or 2048 pixels. Preferred color profile is sRGB. Remember, these are going to be showing on a TV monitor. So remember that the TV monitor is going to be in a horizontal format, basically landscape. If you have a print that's in a vertical portrait mode, it's not going to show as well. You may have to, especially if it is a portrait, but just be aware that it does show better in a wide format. You can use a digitally produced frame on the image, but remember you don't want it to take over the whole image and just make a little small picture. That won't work. Prints, please pick them up on Monday, the 29th. We're going to be open from 2 to 7 p.m. If you don't pick them up, your awards and that will be sent over to the office. Location again is in the Van Dam building where you brought them in at. Please bring your tag receipts. If you don't have a tag receipt, we'll still have you sign for it. We may ask you to show an ID or something, but you know, if you have a friend pick it up, we're usually not that stingent, but we need to make sure you get the right stuff. Unclaimed photos, like I mentioned, they're going to be either mailed or sent over to the office. They'll figure out what to do with them. Mounting your photos, I have a handout that explains how to mount your photos if you haven't done that before. When we used to hold a class here, we only had very few people show up, so we decided not to hold the class, but yet show you how to register your prints. Who will mount them for you? Hobby Lobby, affordable picture framing. We talked to the gal over at Michael's, they'll do it for you too. If you have any issues, you can do a walk-in registration over at the fair office. They prefer to have you do it online.
Andrew also talked with Richards, what's it called, Richards Photo Lab
Oh,
down
yeah,
in Santa Clarita. And they also do printing and mounting. They can do it all for you there.
okay. I think I accidentally stopped sharing.
That's okay. I am now blind. Here. Share. Are you done?
I am done.
Oh, okay.
We are complete.
Okay, so let's just go to this one. Okay, did you have any questions for Kurtiss?
Any questions at all for registration?
Not for registration,
I'm sorry?
not for registration.
Okay.
I got a lot of questions about.
About what? Oh. Okay, so moving into how judging works. I'm just gonna go over some basic standards of which we've all heard before, but just as a reminder, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail. The 12 elements of a merit image from PPA is always a really good place to start. And the biggest thing is impact. When judges look at the pictures on the wall, the first thing the first picture that jumps out at them, that's gonna be the initial one that they're gonna go with until they start looking at more details. So if your picture has initial impact and it's technically done well, you will likely get a first place. But if it doesn't have a lot of impact, even though it's done technically well, it may never get into the judge's frame of reference because it'll just kind of get ignored because it doesn't have something that draws you in. Oh, sorry, creativity. How unique is the image? Point of view, subject matter, anything. Use your imagination in creating your images. Because if something is different than everything else, that also gives impact to the image. Style. Style separates your images from the other images in the group. Maybe you have strong lighting or rich tones or, processing, perspective, subject matter. Those things help you develop your own style. Composition. All of the things that we've all learned through our different workshops and meetings and things. Frame your image and elements, repetition, symmetry, rule of thirds, leading lines. Don't allow the horizon line to cut through somebody's head. Don't have a tree growing out of somebody's head. Those sorts of things will knock your image out of the running for a place in the final ribbons. Presentation, where you crop, how it's mounted, if you have strokes or borders on your image. Those are great, but don't let them distract from your image.
I think Kurtiss said that you couldn't have more than an inch and a half of a.
Well, that's of the actual mat, the foam board.
Oh,
Like you could put your picture on a piece of foam board and have 1.25 inches of the foam board around the edge of the picture. But honestly, don't do that. It's not pleasing. If you're gonna have a border, do it digitally around the frame before you get it printed. And then it'll naturally have a printed border rather than just the foam board. Color balance. It lights against darks. Something that's really flat doesn't capture the judge's eye. Does the background enhance your subject or compete with it? If something's really busy, that it doesn't help. If the background's really busy, it doesn't help your subject. If the white balance is wrong, color harmony. Think about how the colors work together in your image. Center of interest. You should have a main focus in your image. Use design, use leading lines, the rule of thirds, triangles, however you want to draw the eye to what you want the people to look at. That's what you want to do, especially in your post-processing. And the fewer distractions, the better. A really busy image it's too much and it won't do as well. Lighting, you want to have the correct quantity of light to convey the mood of the image. Have a light direction in your image. Don't have the light be really flat or I don't want to say harsh. Try and have nice quality of light in the images that you submit. They will do better. Landscape images done at sunrise or sunset or golden hour or blue hour, whatever you want to call it. Those ones will do better than something taken in the middle of the day because the quality of light is just so much stronger. Your subject matter, it should be clear to the viewer, it should fit in its surroundings and not have a lot of distractions. Print quality, there should be detail in the light and the shadow of your prints. High gloss prints tend to score the best, but satin finish also does really well. I've never had a problem winning with satin finish. Matte, probably not a good choice. It tends to not show detail as well, and it just, that tends not to do as well in the judging. Technique, if you know art principles like the rule of odds, the color wheel, using triangles in your image, those sorts of things that are drawn from the art world play a part in how we look at photography as well. And lastly, statement. Every image should tell some sort of story. Make sure it's a story that's easy to read. You want your images to convey something to the viewer. And the stronger the story is, the better that your image will do. So what do the judges discuss when they're sitting there convincing amongst themselves? So we have, what are they, novice, amateur, master, and professional, and junior. Those different levels, the judges take that into account when they're judging. They're more lenient when you're a novice or amateur. If you've gone to master and you're still submitting images that should be in the amateur or in the novice category, they're not going to get judged very well. They expect a higher standard of composition, subject matter, the way it's mounted and presented. All of those things are set at a higher level the higher you get. Impact and creativity are the most important, like I said, but if it has a lot of impact, but it's not quite in focus, which is next technique is critical. If there's dust spots, if the horizon is crooked, if there's lack of focus, blown highlights or blocked shadows, lack of contrast in the image, no center of interest, if the background is busy, even if there was initial impact, things like that will take it out of the running. And they will get more into the technical parts as they examine the images for the first, second, and third places. Cropping, you want to crop, if you crop at a joint or an item is too close to the edge of the frame, like where it's just on the edge, you don't want that. If you cut off the very tip top of a steeple or something that like should be completely an image, but it's not, those things will knock you down as well. So when you're looking at what your final images are that you want to enter, keep those things in mind. If an image is over processed, that can be just as bad as under processing. If it's just out of camera and it's very flat, it's not going to do well. But if you over sharpened, added too much saturation, if the white balance is weird or there's an odd color cast, those things are going to knock it down. Prints must be printed and mounted well, especially the higher you get. No bubbles, no rough edges of the foam board. It needs to look professional. And if you're an amateur and are doing that, you're going to score really well. Judges don't always agree. There's 3 people who have different taste in photography, who have different, the basic criteria are the same, but they may favor a certain subject matter or a certain technique more. And so there's give and take during the conversation process that the judges do when they're doing their judging. It is subjective, as you well know, and something that would get a first place from one judge may not get a first place from a different judge. And so you have to take that into account and not get your feelings hurt if you don't win first place, because it may not be your image, it may just be the group of judges that we chose this year. But if you do all the other things, you'll probably do really well. So because all of the things that I've said are universal with judges. They're not gonna kick, oh, this is an amazing image, but I don't like dogs. So it's not winning a thing. Not to pick on Suzanne. Choosing your photo. So using the above criteria, pick your best images that you know of from the past year or several years. Check for technical issues. If you can fix them in Lightroom or Photoshop, fix them. Or just, okay, I'm not going to enter this one because I can't fix it. Assess them for alignment with the classes that Kurtiss talked about. Make sure it's in the right class. That is really helpful. If it just kind of meets it, or you really like this and it kind of fits in wildlife. Don't enter that. You want it to strongly fit within the category that you put it. Assess for originality and impact. Remember, impact is key. Creativity, composition, and lighting all affect impact. If something is unique from a unique angle, or the way you composed your image is interesting, if your lighting is interesting, all of those things will help make your image a stronger image to enter. And this was my trick. Choose classes with less entries, because then there's less competition and there's a better chance of winning. I mean, yes.
Go ahead, I want to add.
Okay. If last year, you saw that this one category only had 3 entries, think, okay, well, maybe I could enter that one. Scenic land has 50 billion entries, and flowers always has tons of entries. So, think about those sorts of things when you're going to enter. What would you say are some of the ones that don't have a lot?
I was just gonna look that up.
Oh, so he's gonna look that up. I think things like step into the past doesn't usually have a lot.
Fair theme,
What?
fair theme.
Fair theme doesn't have a lot, and there's first place ribbons in that one. Narrow down to your absolute best. Don't just settle, oh, I need to enter 20, so I'll just go with this one. Pick your best ones. Get constructive criticism. If you aren't sure what class it should go into, or if you should enter this one or this one, ask your friends, ask your family for feedback. And trust your gut. Use the photos that resonate with you, and best represent who you are as a photographer, because those will, because they resonate with you, they probably will resonate with others as well. Remember, quality printing and mounting is important. So don't, print them out on your friends.
That's something we did last year. We went through and saw which ones didn't have very many entries, and we deleted quite a few.
Yeah.
So I'm going through them right now, taking a look at what we have. For amateur, some of the least classes, entries is creative art, fair theme. And we don't have panoramas, we did delete that.
Yeah.
Wish they had that.
Those are 2 of the big ones. Advanced division, I don't have it listed.
Amateur,
Panorama.
but we took panorama isn't a class anymore.
Yes.
At any level?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Could it be in miscellaneous?
Again.
You can put a panorama in any of the classes. So if it doesn't fit in any of those classes, then it can go in miscellaneous. But you can't just put it in miscellaneous because it's a panorama. Yeah. If it fits any of the other classes, it needs to be in that class. Yes.
I shot the fireworks show at the fair. Would that be considered fair thing?
no.
They might.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying that the fair people would probably consider it fair thing.
Yeah.
But it should probably more be under night photography
They're perfect. They're something centered around.
with pigs or cameras. Yes. So, but it would go in night photography.
Yeah.
So that would be the one I would pick. Yes,
Another thing, know your competition, remember where you are. In this room. And also, Hutch mentioned it, we have arguably the best aviation photographers in the state
yeah,
here. Be real picky about what you put in aviation. I mean, last year, how many pictures were, I think it was the same fire, a helicopter making a drop in the fire, and there were like 4.
amazing ones, yeah.
Make your image stand out from what you think I'm gonna enter, what Fred's gonna enter. We have the best aviation photographers around sitting in this room right now. Be picky what you put in.
Right. That is true. Yes,
Quality briefing, ribbons and building.
okay, that is in the rules. Did we put that in there, right?
Right, that's mostly local.
But if you can go, if you wanted to go online, you can use Miller's or Bay Photo, or
Was it White House?
White House Custom Color, WHCC. Richard's Photo Lab down in San Clarita does, nice work.
They're like,
The Lancaster Walmart is surprisingly excellent.
Yeah, actually, that's what I did last year.
And
Walmart,
they have the same printer as Costco did.
because I waited till the last minute.
What?
And roll paper to fix
Huh?
pieces to get them.
I did, it
Oh,
was even worse.
well, if you take it to get it mounted, if you're not gonna mount it yourself, they'll deal with that. Getting it mounted, you can, Hobby Lobby seems to be the best. Richards will print it and mount it for you. You can also, any of the online places, you can have them mount it for you. It's more expensive. But I mean, I kind of like mounting my own, and it's not horribly difficult. Yeah, I mean, the first year I didn't even know what I was doing. And then the next year, oh, there's a workshop about it. And so the directions that Kurtiss will hand out about how to mount it, if you follow those, you can do a really good job of mounting your own pictures.
That's that glue.
Right, yeah, you're
Try
dealing
not to
with
touch the
glue,
print.
yeah. You have to make sure not to touch the front of the picture.
Yeah. Pick it up like a blue fingerprints.
Yes.
Yeah.
So start looking at your pictures now to start narrowing down what ones you want to enter. The deadline is really only a month away, so
Mine that you're procrastinating, not one procrastinating.
yes. So make sure that you are starting now to pick out the images that you want to enter. Just so that you're not frantically doing it at the last minute and trying to get them
Have one.
printed on the day that they're supposed to be turned in, because that does happen. And fortunately, between Walmart and Hobby Lobby, people were able to get stuff done day of, but it's not choice that you would want to
You
make.
pick the landscape. And then decided after registration, you don't want that, you want a different picture. You don't know which landscape.
Right, you're kind of, when you're registering, you're putting in a placeholder, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna enter 2 scenic lands and 2 portraits and 1 creative art and 1 step into the past. And then if you change your mind later, we don't know that. It's just when you bring it or you upload your digital image, that's when the decision is made for you. We don't know which picture you're gonna enter until then. So if you know, oh, I have a lot of good domestic animal pictures, then you can pick 1 or 2 of those, and wildlife, you can put in that you're gonna bring in 1 or 2 of those, and so That's the kind of the thought process that you need to use, and you can narrow it down later. Or, I mean, and there, did we include a worksheet still, or is that gone from the rules? There used to be a worksheet that you could list all your pictures and,
Yeah, that's fun.
okay. So, yes, Dawn,
How about entering the same photograph, one color, one black and white?
no,
No, that's still a duplicate.
It says in the rules.
it's, yeah, it's considered a duplicate of the image, so you can't do that.
And also if you go digital and put one in print, same image. That's
No.
also duplicate.
Right, you can't do that. They have to be definitely different images. It can be of the same subject, like if you have a close-up portrait and then a full body portrait of the same person, you can enter both of those because they're not the exact same image, but it's the same subject. That doesn't matter. Yes,
Narrowing down your absolute best, I would think you'd want to look at images that have done well in our competitions.
yes. If you have images that did well in our competitions or in S4C, or if you post them on Facebook and they got 50 billion likes, look at those ones.
Think of those competitions as a tune-up for the fair.
Yes. So that's what I have.
We did have an email come in, yesterday. The lady who had entered in amateur last year, she did really well, she had six blue ribbons. And she wanted to enter those same photos in the, advanced class to see how they would do against advanced. It's interesting, that you'd want to do that, and I can understand, but again, that's actually using it from year to year to year, and, it's against the rules.
Yeah.
They need to be done.
Right, so that's all I had. Did you have any questions for moi?
I have a quick PJ question.
Sure.
So it's not two categories. It's
Fishing is a sport.
Right, we combined
it's both
photojournalism
sports and
and human interest are all together.
human interest.
Yes, it's
So-
all together under photojournalism.
So like kids playing could be in PJ,
Yes,
even though it's not newsworthy.
right.
Okay,
It's telling the story,
it's not a sport.
right, but it's telling the story.
You're right, but it's not a sport. Right.
Well, photojournalism doesn't have to just be sports. It can be anything. We combine human interest is one of the definitions I think that he said was someone doing something interesting, a person doing something interesting. So that would be
Kids playing in the sandbox.
right.
Kids throwing mud at each other.
Yes, anything like that would be part of photojournalism. But you have to remember that it is going to be up against pictures of volleyball or surfing or, things like that. So you have to, again, evaluate, is this a strong enough image to compete against those? Is the emotion that's conveyed, the story that it's telling, evocative enough that it will hold on to the judge's eye despite these other images?
Right, two men and one woman,
Yes.
sports.
Yeah, but Helen, she like hangs on for her kid pictures. They have done amazing, so.
If you'd like, I do have, I can do best of divisions from the past couple of years of just a digital. Okay, well,
Okay, so did you hear what he said? If you want to see what the digital best of divisions were last year or the year before, he has them on his computer.
Do we go see him or put it on?
Well, if we put it up there, Zoom people will have to see it. That's fine, we can plug yours in, and Zoom people, you guys are just gonna have to look at the screen for this part. Okay, I'm gonna unshare. And we'll go.
All those people on Zoom.
Huh? I know, Sandy.
Sandy.
Okay. She's like, I'm important. Let me highlight this one. Pin, do I pin it? Is that what makes it be the? big one, there we go. Okay, so. Come on up and hook this in to that. And we'll adjust the. Screen. There. I'll move once we finish the.
This was Best of Division Digital Amateur last year. Nicole. I think.
Okay, you guys can see that.
Mhm. Oops. Find on this 2025, forget it. Oh, things we got moved around.
That's his. He just bought
I'm trying to find, wow. Yeah, name the screen different. There we go. Okay,
Looks like he paid a little, unless it's not the penny.
this is a beautiful one from last
Yeah,
year.
that's cool.
Digital Advanced Creative Art. That was a really interesting art. Then we go back. Suzanne,
Yeah,
this is yours from last year. Digital Master Perfection, monochrome. You look at the background, it's very simple, just black. I mean, you can't argue with the subject.
yeah. I was surprised I got him so sharp because he was a really moving way.
Wow. This was Best of Show, 17 years and younger.
Wow. Get it.
I think it was 17. It's Nicole's, it's Nicole's.
Yeah, Nicole's help.
So they-
I'm sure you get a little help. Let's see, those were last year's. I don't have the other Best of Division ones, but we do have 2023. I keep them all.
This is how
So
we know,
organized.
Yeah.
this is how we know if we've entered a photo before. Oh, we've had them all.
And let's see, let's judge it. Come on, where are they? Should be right there.
Winners? No, no.
Yeah.
That's not that.
Oh, let's pick up rows. Okay. Should be right here in this folder, but they're in digital. Let's see here. Digital, I'm not sure. Yeah, I apologize. Here we go.
Let's see what we would think.
Best of Division, amateur. This is 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Turkey.
Yeah, Suzanne? Advanced. What is it? Let's see, it's 10, 11. Simple and effective, lighting is really good, colors are great.
Processing, like a
Mhm.
little glowy.
A little soft.
So is Master Professional the combined one that year?
It digital.
For digital it is.
Oh, for digital, okay.
Yeah, these are just all digital. So, and 12. Again, junior 17 years and younger for structures.
Yeah.
If we go with that. 2024. Photos. Word photos. These are all the boards from last year. We're gonna probably set it up the same this year, which seemed to work really well.
What year is that?
This is last year.
Purple.
I'm trying to find the award board. Pretty sure it's down here. Here it is.
Yeah, it's a blue. Oh, purple and gray. What color?
Mhm.
I think it was navy. He said they couldn't get teal, so what did we pick instead?
I don't know.
Oh, we're doing navy and whatever is out there,
Okay,
probably red.
yeah, we're not choosy.
Whatever you call it.
And maybe tell them they won't afford the teal.
$50.
Yes, cute hats.
Oh,
You got tastes.
yeah, so this is several ones. Excuse me, that won last year. And this is what our awards board looks like at the fairgrounds. And
And the cows.
the cute cows. And this year we have pigs. I don't know if you want to see all of them. Of course, what we do with the digitals, we have small monitors that we hook up. You can see the colors going off, but that's because it's on a monitor.
Yeah.
We've ordered the trophies. They should be in any time. So we have a sponsor this year for the trophies, which is nice. They can't remember his name offhand, but he's an insurance agent. And he's asked us to just post his name a few times around the area. He's gonna pay for all the trophies.
Cool.
No, we could. But
That's right.
We can leave that up for the people to look at, instead of providing that out all of our home phones.
What?
The sign up for gets left out. And walk up, start flipping, excuse me, no.
No, the only photo that should be out is the Polaroid photo.
So you may have noticed that these pictures were also shown in the digital category. These two pictures were from digital. Then we had them printed so that we could show them and display them as best to show. It makes it easier for the display. And it offers a lot more impact.
And they were printed at Walmart and
Mm.
I meant to put.
Yes. And they look great. So. That's really all we got.
Okay. So, if you guys have any questions, we'll be around. You can email or call or whatever. So, then people ask all sorts of, I don't know, which category to put this in. You know, we're fine with answering those sorts of questions because we're not judging. It's fine.
Don't procrastinate to get your friends printed.
Yes,
That's
it's.
Get
It's
them done.
better to get them printed and mounted as soon as you make your decisions, because then it's done and you're not freaking out about it 3 days before, which I'm really good for that. I'm always, when I was entering, I was always mounting the night before, taking to.
Does anybody know if you can have your photos mounted at Walmart?
They don't have mounting at Walmart.
Right.
You can take it to Hobby Lobby and they will mount it. Or Michael's does mounted, but it's more expensive than Hobby Lobby.
But the print quality, having done both, because I'm always waiting till the last minute, at the Lancaster Walmart is a lot better than the one at Palmdale.
Yes.
Plus Palmdale will say, your photo will be ready in an hour, and then they'll email you back, and it won't be ready till the next day. And then they'll email you back and they'll say, your printer's broken, so you're not gonna get it until, Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't had a problem so far with Lancaster.
But don't procrastinate on that, because people are getting to know that, and so they might be busy close to the fair. It's sort of like at Costco when it was getting close to the fair.
Oh,
They were,
they were swamped.
yeah. So,
They like the way. They
yes,
like helping us out.
it's. But there are other options as far as like Richards and, the online options are fine. They do a great job. You might want to do a test print first, maybe a couple small ones, just to make sure the color, like how dark they are. Because I know the printer I use online, I raise mine like a 1 stop or so before I send them in, because either my screen is too bright or whatever, but they tend to print dark. And so if I raise it a stop, then, or a half stop, I can't remember. Anyway, it's a certain amount. Then it will print exactly as I see it on my screen.
Right.
Yeah, I had that problem the first year I entered, so I sent it to a place to have it printed. And when they sent it back, everything was too dark,
Right.
so I had to redo.
Right,
Mhm.
and
At
that's
the cost
because
of
if
redoing them.
if the screen is too bright, you're seeing it differently than it actually is. So when you're editing, have your screen very low. And, that helps.
Calibrated, yeah.
Yes, calibrated, all those things.
I'm trying to review.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have calibrators, so I'm just like printed out the calibrator colors or on these, the white balance colors on the screen. I print those out on my printer and then I match the colors so that the colors on the screen match those. And then my prints are always right, so it's taking a lot longer than it would with a calibrator.
Another suggestion that I did last year, because I do all my editing on a 55-inch TV,
Right,
so that I have my computer hooked up to. I sent over 5x7s, which I think were, just a few cents each,
yeah,
to Walmart, had them printed and then went through and looked at them.
To make sure that they were
I
like,
made sure the color was right and everything
That's a good
looked
idea.
good. And then I got a bigger print. I think I got 11 by something,
Perfect.
14 or 18.
Mhm.
good sizes are, 12 by 18s, or 16 by 20s. Those tend to be the best sizes for those two.
16 by 20s and talk a lot off of your landscape.
Right, but I mean, some, I'm just saying,
18 is the full-
12 by 18s is your full, the frame of the picture that you took. But sometimes you want the crop to be more of a traditional crop, and then you do a 16 by 20. The 8 by 10s are just really small. For hanging up and for getting the judge's attention, it's difficult when they're small like that. Yeah, square 16 by 16.
Mhm.
11 by 14 is okay. But. Again, the 12 by 8 still full frame
16 by 24 is the big one.
is nice. Huh?
The 16 by 24 is the.
Yeah, you usually don't need that big of a print. It's not gonna help you win.
Mhm.
If there's anything out of focus in the slightest, it'll show up really well
Yeah,
at that.
I say,
So,
Mhm.
if you have something,
yeah,
That's
because
out of
for
focus,
1 year, I
go
did
smaller.
print a couple that big, and I was really happy with how they were. I like 12 by 18.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with resolution.
Yeah.
Even that big.
Yeah, your sharpness has to be perfect, everything just has to be. Cause every little problem comes out.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we are done.
try Richard.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
You could show them that,
Well, I think-
Thank you, Sandy.
I'm
I'm gonna turn us off now.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye-bye. Bye.